Hello everyone, DSP here. It is Wednesday, March 1st, 2017. It has now been 1 week since I was made aware of a really bad issue going on behind the scenes regarding my YouTube channel, DSPGaming, on YouTube, in regards to ad revenue that was absolutely abysmal in the month of February with little to no justification or explanation. I certainly was not notified by YouTube or anything regarding why this would happen. For a week now, I've been working with Machinima. Machinima has been working with YouTube, and we've all been trying to communicate, although the communication, quite honestly, has not been what I wish it would have been. What I wish is that every day I at least had an update from someone saying, here's what's going on, and whether or not they heard anything, they would say, at least we're working on it. That's not what's happened. It seems like I have to wait several days to even get anything else out of Machinima. Not to say that that's Machinima's fault. It's because YouTube, in this regard, is dragging their feet. And I know you might say, but Phil, you've been with YouTube since 2008. You've been doing YouTube as a job since 2011, running ads on your videos since 2010. And all of a sudden, YouTube ad revenue has plummeted for you with no reason, and you can't even get an answer out of YouTube as to why. And the answer is, yes, that is the situation right now. YouTube is not responding with any kind of a valid answer, okay? I do have a few updates, which is what I want to give you in this video. And I also have something that I seriously need to run by all of you who are longtime dedicated viewers, those of you who come and watch all of my playthroughs, right? Or even those of you who maybe come back every once in a while to watch a big high-profile playthrough. Because Machinima has suggested a Band-Aid fix to what's going on, which, quite honestly, I'm not too keen on it. But if it is the only way that I can basically keep this business going, and it's a necessary evil almost, then I will do it. We'll get to that in a moment. First, let's talk about what's been going on and the feedback I've gotten from YouTube in regards to this issue. Where I left this last week, the last time I made a vlog about this was last Thursday, so almost a full week ago. And where we were is that Machinima looked into DSPGaming and said, yeah, for some reason, Phil, in February, your ad revenue percentages tanked for some reason, which makes no sense because on average, we're seeing that all of our Machinima partners' ad revenues went up, because in January it was a certain number, but usually that's pretty low. January is actually a really slow month on YouTube for ad revenue. But then it always picks up in February with the Super Bowl, with ads for big high-profile movies and stuff that came out. Oh my God, 50 Shades Darker was like on every video on YouTube for like a week. So yeah, everyone sees a big ad increase in February, and it didn't happen to me. In fact, my ad revenue percentage went down in February, which makes no logical sense whatsoever. There's no justification for it. It doesn't make any sense. Now, Machinima made a suggestion, which I brought up in the last video, and I told you that they said it's not that, but apparently a bunch of people only hear what they want to hear. So allow me to make this abundantly clear. Machinima said the only time that we've seen ad revenue drop like this is if a YouTuber or a channel or videos in particular get flagged as what's considered advertiser unfriendly, meaning the videos are deemed controversial. Maybe the videos have a lot of really controversial stuff in them, like politics or racism, right? People who are being racist on YouTube and stuff like that. It's not necessarily banned, but sometimes it's deemed advertiser unfriendly, that kind of stuff. So it could be deemed as offensive, overly offensive content. But Machinima said, we looked at everything, Phil, and nothing on our end whatsoever that we can see on your channel indicates that you've been deemed advertiser unfriendly on DSPGaming. Nothing, okay? Now, I said this in a vlog last Thursday, and somehow on the internet, people have spun it into, well, Phil's advertiser unfriendly. And I'm like, that's the complete opposite of what Machinima said, but people love to spin it into whatever they want for their own, little jollies and hilarious purposes. So people all over the past week, Phil's advertiser unfriendly. Well, guess what? You're fucking wrong, because we heard back from YouTube this week, and here's what YouTube had to say from the horse's mouth. No, there's nothing whatsoever saying that DSPGaming is advertiser unfriendly. Wrong. That's completely a wrong statement. But, yeah, for some reason, advertiser revenue is down on DSPGaming. Now, what YouTube said, and I'm not even kidding you here, I'm going to read it word for word, because I don't want to misconstrue what they said, but when you hear this, you're probably going to have the exact same response, all right, as I did. So hold on a second. Here we go. I'm going to read this word for word. Here is the first response that we received from YouTube after contacting them. We're waiting on the final determination from them. So here's Machinima, and here's what Machinima says YouTube said. Nothing stands out to me here as what may be causing this. So I'm going to send this over to our monetization team to take a look at. I don't see anything that is indicating an issue with advertiser unfriendly content, so I don't think that's an issue at this point. Traditionally, drops in monetized playbacks can be difficult or not entirely possible to diagnose, given the algorithmic nature of ad serving on the platform. I'll let you know if the team figures anything else out. So that was the last contact that we got from YouTube, and that was a few days ago. Apparently, I think from what Machinima was telling me, that was like either last week or very early this week. Okay, if you'd like me to translate that into English for you, here's what that means. The same thing that I've said every single time that I criticize YouTube is true. YouTube is run by a bunch of people who are book smart. They can code till the fucking, till the fucking moonlight is out and burn the midnight candle, and they can make amazing algorithms, and they can do all this next generation coding and make this really awesome performance website. But they're not street smart, meaning in actual application of that website, if something goes wrong, they are terrible at figuring out what it is, because they're the ones who write the code. They're not the ones who use the code. All right? So what this response is saying from YouTube is, well, yeah, it's definitely, ad revenue on DSPGaming is definitely down, and it's not because Phil was deemed advertiser unfriendly or because he did anything wrong. We just have no idea because it's a complicated algorithm that we wrote, and we have no way to actually figure out when something goes wrong with it. That's literally what that response means. We created a monster, and we have no way to stop it, nor to even track it. If it goes wrong, oh well, fuck it, you're fucked. That's literally what that email says. That's what it's saying, word for word. So I don't know how to take that. How do you take an email response like that from YouTube? I mean, you know what that really says, and I hate to say it, exactly what I've been saying all along again, they're inept at what they do. Just like for months previous to this situation with me, right? Last year, YouTubers from all over, small YouTubers, big YouTubers, all came up and said, we have concrete proof that people are being unsubbed from our channels. Here's the proof. Here's people saying it's happening. Here's our sub numbers going down. And everyone submitted that to YouTube, and YouTube made a video coming out and saying, we don't know. We can't figure it out. So they're inept. They're inept at what they do. They can't figure out problems. They are book smart. They can code and they can write, but they can't solve problems. There's no problem-solving capabilities in their bodies. And that's ridiculous because that's not how you operate a major company. What that tells me is exactly what we've known about Google from the start. How did Google become popular? Because someone wrote a really complicated algorithmic code for a search engine, and it became the top one because it was the best search engine. But then, if anything ever goes wrong with it, damned if they can fix it. It's the same thing with YouTube. We're going to code YouTube. We're going to have all these awesome things on YouTube, but we can't fix anything because that's not what we do. And apparently, they don't care. At this point now, literally, I'm pinging Machinima daily for information, and Machinima is coming back to me and saying, we have no new information because YouTube hasn't made any determination yet. So literally, I sit here with my thumb firmly stuck up my ass, putting out videos, doing gameplay streams for you, doing what I've always done, with my entire livelihood and business in jeopardy because YouTube isn't good at what they do. Yet they're the industry leader in video sharing, but they're not good at what they do. It's only because they're backed by this, by Google money. It's that simple. If another competitor came up and said to YouTube, guess what? We actually have responsive customer support. We have people who not only can code, but they're problem solving. They can dive in. They can figure out what goes wrong. They can fix issues right away. What would happen to YouTube? Who would, and especially if there was a platform that could get ad revenue comparable to what YouTube has, because that's the big thing. Yeah, we all want to have a better video sharing website, but a lot of us have a living doing it, and we can't just up and leave YouTube and go somewhere else if we're not going to be able to pay our bills, right? The problem is that's never happened. I mean, what competitors has it had? Blip? Blip was never a major competitor for YouTube. They couldn't even handle 1/10 of the bandwidth of what YouTube had, and the website didn't function properly, and they had all kinds of internal problems too. I mean, I got kicked off of there for completely unrelated reasons to that, but it stands to say they went out of business for a reason. You know what I mean? Who's the other one? Dailymotion or whatever? Some people try uploading their videos to Dailymotion. You can't do anything on Dailymotion like you can on YouTube. So YouTube is still the go-to place for video sharing, right? And it's scary because what about people like me now? It seems to me whatever's going on behind the scenes isn't intentional. This wasn't something that was by design. It somehow happened behind the scenes of YouTube. And No one can control it. No one can even figure out what it is. It's this impending monster of take away your ad revenue. And there's no way to fix it or to prevent it. What did I do wrong? Nothing. I'm being told you did nothing wrong. You're just fucked. How does that work? How does that... So now I'm being forced... Am I going to be forced off of YouTube and not be able to do this for a living? Well... Now on to part 2 of this video. Because Machinima only has one other theory as to what could have caused this. And they have a supposed solution, which I don't necessarily agree is a valid solution. But if it is something that's going to save my business and allow me to keep doing this as a job and keep live streaming on Twitch and keep putting out videos on YouTube and keep doing this, then I'll do it. But I need to run it by you, the viewers, first and see what your take is. Now, keep in mind, once again, sadly, I have to leave comments disabled on this video because every time I make a video on my own personal vlogging channel about the business, we get 400 immature little shits who have to flood the video with nasty shit about, oh, this is your own doing and this is that and fuck you, Phil, and die in a fire, Phil, which is hilarious because literally everything in this video and all the evidence being told by me from Machinima on YouTube is that this has nothing to do with me, that this is just some behind-the-scenes thing that has nothing to do with anyone. It just happened, all right? So, bullshit to that, but I know if I open the comments of this video, I won't get good feedback because it's going to be flooded with nasty shit. So instead, I'm going to propose this to you. I'm going to tell you what Machinima said, propose their solution. Let me know. Tweet me, @theycallmeDSP. Email me, darksidephil@hotmail.com. Post up on my forums. Let me know what you think about this solution, all right? Here we go. Here's what Machinima thinks. They said, Phil, what we're seeing is that in comparison to pretty much all the gaming channels on YouTube, which is absolutely true, and I'm aware of this already. I've known this since day one. What's considered average viewer... What is the word for it? Excuse me. I'm going to get the right word because I have the email right here. Hold on. Fuck. Of course, now the email's not there. It's coming. I'm scrolling down to it. I'm in the wrong email. Are you kidding me? I'm not in the wrong email. It's just not showing me the right thing. The way it works, because I don't know the exact term. It's like, it's not average view retention or average. It's the percent of a video that the average viewer is watching. All right? What does that mean? It means I have a video on YouTube. You watch the video. If you watch the entire video from start to finish, that's considered 100%. If you watch 50% of the video, that's considered 50%. If you only watch it for a second, that's probably going to be like 1%, all right? The average percent that people watch my videos on YouTube is much lower than most other gaming YouTubers. Do you want to know why that is? It's very simple. It's common sense. Because I do raw, unedited playthroughs. When you watch my playthroughs, you're seeing everything in the game. Now, some people want to see that. So they watch the entire playthrough, start to finish 100%. So that would be 100% watchability, right? Some people want to watch my playthroughs but are looking for funny parts or good parts or maybe just the story. Maybe they don't want to spoil the story but they want to see gameplay. So because my videos provide all of that, they skip through to the parts they want to see. Therefore, they're somewhere in the middle, right? And then there's probably people who watch my videos, they click it once, they say, this guy's an obnoxious fuck, and they close the video and never watch again. And that's the 1%, okay? I get that. I totally get that. And my percent is going to be lower because unlike other YouTubers who cut out the boring parts, right, I show you the raw game. But that's always been my pitch because I show you the raw footage because I don't edit out the fails, because I don't edit out the boring parts, because I don't script in comedy and do all these things like other YouTubers tend to do. I'm able to play a game start to finish and finish it usually in a much faster amount of time than most of these big gaming YouTubers. That's one of my catches. You want to see the game quickly? You can watch me play it. You want to see a raw, actual, honest reaction to the game versus a scripted one or a paid advertisement or the parts that are boring cut out so you don't get an accurate representation of that game? You watch my playthroughs. But yeah, even my most hardcore viewers probably skip around my videos all the time, okay? From what Machinima is saying, YouTube determines who gets what ads based on this percentage. Now, first of all, I gotta say something about how fucking stupid this is. Let's just think about how advertisements work on YouTube, alright? When you watch a new video, the first thing that happens, an advertisement runs at the beginning of the video. So you see the ad, then you watch the video, okay? Regardless if you see the ad and you watch 1% of that video, 30% of that video, 50% or 100%, you still saw the ad, alright? You still watched it. So that company that bought the ad on YouTube made their money, right? They got their view from you, and the content uploader held up to their part of the bargain because that advertisement played, so they should get paid, right? It doesn't matter how much more of that video you fucking watch, you saw the ad. So therefore, for YouTube to make a determination who gets what ads based off of how much percentage of your videos they watch makes no logical fucking sense whatsoever. No matter what video you watch and how long you watch it, you saw the ad already. So it makes no sense. Again, book smart, not street smart. In a book, they wrote an algorithm that says percents and this and that and this and that. And it makes no fucking sense in the real world because they don't actually apply it to someone who uses YouTube daily. Anyone who watches YouTube daily could say, but I watch the ad on every video, so why does it matter if I stop watching after 1%, 30%, or 100%? I still watched the ad, so it should count, and that person should continue to get advertisement revenue on their videos. Duh, but this is not how they think. They have the book smart. Book smart. So different from real life application. It really is. So sadly, that's what Machinima thinks is going on. They said this is the only thing we can think of, is that because your channel has this much lower percentage of having a viewer watch the entire video, maybe what YouTube finally did is internally they flipped the switch and said, well, we've decided that only people who have the absolute highest viewer retention, people who watch the entirety of every video they put out are going to get ads on their videos, and everyone else, yeah, they'll get ads, but they get the leftovers, which could be what happened. Maybe I got the lowest ad revenue ads on YouTube only starting in February for whatever fucking reason. Why they flipped the switch in February, I have absolutely no idea. But that might be what happened. Now, here's what Machinima is saying could be a solution. This is what I need to run by you, the viewer, all right? Machinima is saying, in theory, if I go back to the old way I used to make my videos, I could save the business. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm talking, and I know, holy shit, here we go. I'm talking before direct capture, right? And I'm not talking about filming with the camera, but I'm talking about the length of the videos. If you remember, when I started on YouTube, it was 2007. I didn't start regularly uploading until 2008. But all the way through until I think it was like 2011, 2012 was the first year when you could actually have a video on YouTube longer than 10 minutes. That was the limitation. You were not able to make videos longer than 10 minutes long. And then if you ever got into trouble, like let's say, I think it was like 2012 when you could make like 30-minute or more videos. If you ever got into trouble with YouTube, you would lose that capability. You'd go back to only being able to make like 5 to 10 minute long clips. Okay, that was the thing with YouTube. Then YouTube grew and expanded, and they bought more server space and all that, and they made it so that everyone could have unlimitedly length videos, which is why you see 2-3 hour long videos on YouTube now. But I made a living. I built my business off of little digestible 10-minute long videos. That's what put me on the map. That's what people liked, little digestible videos from Phil. And that's how it always was until 2013, when I adopted direct capture and live streaming. And the major feedback that I was getting at that time from my viewership was, Phil, everyone else on YouTube is doing longer gameplay videos. Literally every person on YouTube is doing 20 to 30 minutes. Some people are doing hour long. They're starting to edit out the fails. They're editing out the boring parts and yada, yada, yada. And I said, well, I'm not willing to give up my raw playthrough style because that's what I'm known on doing. That's why people watch my stuff. That's why I'm able to finish games a lot faster than the big YouTuber who takes a month to finish a single game. And that's what I want to keep doing. But I'll compromise. I will slowly try to make my videos longer. So what happened was around 2013, I started lengthening my videos from 10 minutes long to 15 minutes long. From 2014, I tried to start making them from like maybe 15 minutes long to maybe 20 minutes long. And now today, in the modern era, 2017, what's happened is over the years, I've gradually increased the length of my videos. So now, you know, I'm playing a session and the session is 4 hours long. You get maybe 10 videos, okay? Back then, you were talking some 5 to 6 videos an hour. Really, it was around 15 minutes each. So, you know, 4 videos an hour. So for example, today, my session of Horizon Zero Dawn that I played would have been probably anywhere from 16 to 25 videos, depending on how many times I split it. All right? Sadly, Machinima is saying this is maybe what I need to do. They're saying, listen, that formula worked for you back then, and yeah, it was a different time, but if you were to shorten the length of your videos and release shorter videos on YouTube, you'd have higher watch rates because people would jump into the video, and just by default, if people are watching it for a certain amount of time, if the video's shorter, it's gonna up that percentage. And basically, they're like, you know, this is bullshit. This is stupid that you need to do it, but it seems like that may be the only way around what's going on right now, since there's no other explicable way of what's happening. So, here's the thing, though. I know full well there's already people who still, to this day, even though I've shortened my videos and I put out way less videos than I ever did before, they still complain because everyone now is so desensitized and they're so brainwashed into thinking that, oh, one video a day from a YouTuber is good, instead of realizing, wow, that one video constituted 4.5 hours of gameplay and they edited out 3.5 hours to only show the best moments. That's not what I fucking do. If I did that, it would completely undermine what I do on YouTube from the ground up. And that's not what I want to do. I've been here for fucking 8 years, more than 8 years, doing it. There's nothing wrong with it. The problem is YouTube keeps fucking changing shit behind the scenes to screw me over because they're trying to cater to everyone else rather than worrying about the people who've been here since the fucking beginning and put them on the goddamn map. That's what it is. There's no consideration. Never does YouTube sit down and say, oh, let's take a look at business in general and who was successful. All the changes YouTube ever made to the website fucked me. They got rid of channel pages. By the way, I was one of the top 10 viewed channel pages on YouTube regularly when I was very popular on YouTube. Then they did away with channel pages. They made them look like shit, and people stopped coming to my channel page. Screwed me over. Oh, let's make it so that the longer a video is on YouTube, the higher it'll show up in search rankings, right? That fucked me over. But now that's gone. Apparently that's gone now. They did away with that. Now it's percentage of how much percentage of your video gets watched. So another thing to fuck me over. It's like literally every piece that YouTube could have done to fuck me over has fallen into place to fuck. And now it's just like, I'm up to the top of the Tetris game play here, game area, and I'm about to go over and lose, but what am I going to do? So, Machinima's suggestion is that I shorten my video length. I basically go back to how I used to do it. But I don't know how on earth people are going to react when all of a sudden they start seeing even more videos from DSPGaming in their sub boxes. Now, it does need to be said that subscriptions doesn't mean diddly jack shit. It really doesn't. I've got over 180-some thousand subscriptions on DSPGaming, right? How many people really watch the videos? Most of those subscriptions, I'll be honest here, are dead accounts. They're old accounts from the old days. People who used to watch and they never go to YouTube anymore. They're just sitting around. They're not doing anything significant for me anyway, okay? And a lot of people still admit to this day, I watch your stuff, Phil, but I don't subscribe to your channel. So realistically, if I were to shorten the length of my videos, is this really going to negatively affect me? You know what I mean? Are people all of a sudden going to mass unsub in any way that they haven't before? I mean, every time I upload a fighting game, right, I upload single matches. So it's a 3-4 minute video and I upload a ton of them, and then immediately I lose like 200 subs. But all those people, you know, all those subs come back anyway. It's not like I've ever seen a permanent decline in subs. They always is slowly going up, So, I don't know. The other thing I'm worried about, and this is completely valid concern here, if I make the video shorter again, right? Some people may be so upset because now you've been spoiled. You've been in the realm of Phil's uploading 25-minute long gameplay videos, and maybe you have to watch 1 or 2 ads, right, per video. And he uploads 10 videos a day, so maybe you had to watch 10 to 20 ads. Now, all of a sudden, I'm uploading, you know, twice as many videos, so maybe you have to watch twice as many advertisements. See what I mean? And again, this isn't my idea. This is from people who are looking at the data and saying, this may be the only thing you can do because it looks like nothing else has happened. It's, not, again, not advertiser unfriendly, nothing that I've done wrong on my part, and literally, my viewer percentage has not gone down. It's the same as it always was, but for whatever reason, YouTube has now decided with their book smarts, not their actual street smarts of implementing how things actually work on the fucking website or looking at any particular cases, just in their book smart heads, we're going to change it now so that ad revenue only goes to those who have a high viewing percentage. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, because you know what that does? That makes it so that only one type of video can be successful on YouTube. One single type of video. And that is not what YouTube should be. It should not be an amalgamous website where every YouTuber, whether they're talking about sports, news, just vlogging in general, gaming, whatever it is, has the same type of fucking video. The clickbait thumbnail, right? The clickbait title, the fucking, the perfect length video with edited stuff out and jump cuts and, you know, cut out the boring stuff so that it's super hyper for ADD viewers, right? Because that's what YouTube's become. But where is the soul of YouTube? What about people who use YouTube for other things than that? Now they can't anymore? Oh, sorry that you've made a living on YouTube for 6+ years. Fuck you. We don't care. We're going to change it to this one amalgamous form. Is that what you want? You want a YouTube of everyone doing and looking the same and doing the same fucking video? Because that's what YouTube is becoming because of the changes they're making. The changes they're making for the website are awful. And they're not going to create better content. They're not going to create a better experience for anyone. What they're going to create is everyone's the same. And anyone who's not the same gets pushed off the website. What the fuck? Really? Is this what people want? Now, I'm being real here with everyone. This is a serious situation. I'm sure it's not just affecting me. The thing is, those big guys, those big YouTubers, they already adhere to that amalgamous formula. Why do you think that they're popular? Because they had the right video length, they had the clickbait, they had the fucking, you know, the engagement rate because they edited everything. So they're not going to talk about this. But this is a huge issue for anyone who's not huge on YouTube. We're all at risk, okay? Not just me, everyone is at risk. At any moment, this could happen. They could make this behind-the-scenes change and screw us all over and kick us off the website. So what are we going to do about it? Are we just going to sit here and take it and say, oh, well, too bad? Or are we going to stand up and fucking talk about it and fight and make awareness of it? If you care about people like me on YouTube, and I'm just saying not specifically me, because there's tons of people who fucking hate my guts, right? But if you care about a little guy like me being able to make a living on YouTube, the dream of being able to be a YouTuber as a job and not conforming to their fucking amalgamous formula if everyone's the same, now is the time to speak up about this issue. Watch this video, share this video, talk to other people about it, make your own videos about it, create public awareness about this issue. Because that's what's going to make waves. It wasn't until early 2016 when all of a sudden it was the Nostalgia Critic and his channel Awesome People who were getting struck with false copyright strikes that all of a sudden YouTube started listening because they started a grassroots movement. They had tons of people start making videos about it, and all of a sudden the CEO of YouTube, oh, well now we think it's a concern, and all of a sudden the false copyright strike stopped. Right? All of a sudden, it wasn't so easy to just put a fucking copyright strike in for fan art or, oh, because someone used clips of a movie, even though it was under fair use, flagged them. No, it all went away because people stood up. This is a case where people who don't want to conform to YouTube's idea of what's perfect on YouTube, but want to still make a fucking living and still stand up for that kind of content being successful, for us to all stand up collectively and say, no, we're not. We're not going to put up with the bullshit from YouTube. We want variety. We want people to be able to be successful without changing and conforming to this one little ideal of what they think is perfect for YouTube. Because guess what? Even though they own the company, that doesn't mean that they're the smartest people on the planet. They also need to listen to customer feedback, which is something that YouTube and Google in particular are very bad at. They almost never listen and actually react and change positively for what customers tell them. They've got that elitist attitude of we know better, and we're going to make these sweeping changes behind the scenes, and we're going to do whatever we want, and you're just going to have to deal with it. Last year was a big win when people stood up for the copyright issue, and we won that, right? We all collectively stood up and said, this is bullshit, this should not happen, and all of a sudden, boom, it's off YouTube. We could do this too, but people need to actually be serious about this. Hear my case, hear my pleas of my woes right now, and stand up for it and say, no, I don't want one type of video on YouTube anymore. I want variety to be successful, and it's not fair that people who make other kinds of videos can't be successful because of YouTube's algorithms that don't even apply to the real life. Again, if you watch one of my videos on YouTube, you see an ad play before the video. YouTube made their ad revenue. The advertiser had their ad seen. So why does it matter if you watched my whole video, half my video, or 2 seconds after that advertisement of my video? If the ad got seen, it got seen, and I should be getting the same ad revenue as everyone else on YouTube. Logically, it makes fucking sense. Okay, that's what's going on right now. I am now, sadly, have to sit here again. More than likely, I'm not going to get any kind of an answer all right, anytime soon. I'm going to be sitting here, probably making way less ad revenue on DSPGaming. And what I really need is feedback from you guys and gals. And I need you to know, if I were, gameplay-wise, to start uploading shorter videos, meaning roughly 10-minute long videos, okay, again, instead of the 15 to 25-minute videos I'm uploading now, would you keep watching? Would you understand that I'm doing it not because I want to, but because I want to keep doing this for a living and putting out this content and sharing my experiences with you? I can tell you right now, probably my hardcore fans, the people who've been with me since the beginning, or people who jumped on along the way and they like me for who I am, probably aren't going to care. But it's going to be more the casual viewer. Those who every once in a while, I want to see what DSP's up to, and they come back. Maybe they're going to be the ones that are turned off. I don't know. The last thing I want to see is a mass exodus because I'm already screwed when it comes to what's going on with DSPGaming. Now if I change my formula and I make shorter videos, and now I see a mass exodus from DSPGaming of subs dropping and people not watching because the videos are shorter, it's just going to compound things even worse. So it's kind of like I'm between a rock and a hard place at this point, and I need your feedback, okay? Thank you for watching this video, everyone. I appreciate you watching. If and when I get more updates for you, I will provide them. For now, I'm just going to keep pushing forward positively, playing games every day, putting out the videos I want to put out. Right now, I'm going to work on a first impressions video for KO Gaming, my edited gameplay channel, and I'm going to keep working. I'm not going to let this hinder me. I'm not going to let this hold me up. I know, yeah, in the back of my head, it's worrying me, but I still got some time here, a couple months where I can work with it and try to figure out what the hell I'm going to do. So let's see what happens, all right? Let's go. Let's play. Shoot from the hip. Go for it. This month, there's tons of new stuff coming up in March. I hope you're going to check it all out. And when I have more information for you here, I'll provide it. But in the meantime, spread the word about this. It is not acceptable that YouTube forces everyone to conform to one kind of video to be successful on YouTube. That is an absolute joke. That's the opposite of what we want. We want variety, right? If the world was all the same, it would be incredibly boring. We want variety. We want spice. We want difference. Yeah, there's a ton of people who like one kind of video. That doesn't mean that there shouldn't be other people who like a different kind of video and can get it on YouTube too, and someone should be able to make a living doing a different kind of video. It's ridiculous, and that's what YouTube's saying is, oh, too bad. No, that's not an acceptable answer, and they need to be held accountable for their actions. So stand up for it. Let's all start talking about this issue, all right? That's it, folks. Thank you for watching. See you later. Peace out.